Well, we are back with another Anime Vanguards video. No Anime Vanguards gameplay because I couldn't be asked, but I have been grinding out the game a little bit. I've gotten some pretty decent units now on the old squad. You know, we got the meta Monarch 0.1% trait, and I basically completed the update for once in like a very long time. So there's not much for me to do right now. Probably just gonna hold off until the Berserk update, which I'm pretty excited for, but that's not what we're here to talk about today. Today, we are here to discuss the unit vote, the opportunity that Anime Vanguards is giving its player base to vote for one of the next units that they will be adding into the update. We presume that this is gonna be the anniversary update, because the game is nearing its anniversary and they're letting all the players vote. That's what I'm assuming the vote is for, and we have a lot of options. If you're looking at the thumbnail, you might be able to guess which unit is currently in the lead for the unit vote, the one that the most people have voted on. And I wanted to make this video to talk about one of two things. Number one, what I personally want to win, and number two, why I think voting for Dio Over Heaven might not be the greatest idea, but it's all an opinionated thing, so to each their own. But let's get started. First order of business, which character do I hope wins the unit vote? And if you're asking me who I voted for, it's going to be none other than the one and only. I didn't vote for anyone because none of the characters that I was hoping would get into the vote didn't make it. No Hunter x Hunter characters made it. No Chainsaw Man characters made it. So I just didn't bother voting. So how is it possible that I hope a unit wins if I didn't vote for any of them? I'll give you my answer. I hope any unit that isn't Dio Over Heaven wins. Literally anything. I kid you not, I would be happier with Unnamed Marine getting added into Anime Vanguards as a unit than I would with Dio Over Heaven. And that might seem like a pretty crazy take to have. And when you hear me say that, you might think to yourself, wow, you know, why does this guy hate Dio Over Heaven so much? Like, it's a cool unit. And I do agree. Dio Over Heaven is a very cool concept for a unit, but there's a reason that so many games have added a variation of Dio Over Heaven into their game. But that's where I sort of have a little bit of a problem, because we've seen Dio Over Heaven in a lot of anime tower defense games. We've seen it in Anime Adventures. I think they were the first ones to do it. Correct me if I'm wrong. I could be wrong on that, but look, we've seen it in Anime Adventures. We've seen it in Anime Reborn. We've seen it in Anime Last Stand. We've seen it in Anime Rangers X. I don't know if you can count that as a tower defense. I kind of do. Well, like, the point of my argument is that this is a unit that we've seen before, and if I'm being 100% honest, Dio Over Heaven is a cool character. He quite literally has the power to overwrite reality. How is that not a cool concept? But we've already seen him done over and over again. And I know that Anime Vanguards likes to go above and beyond with their units, and I'm assuming this would be a Vanguard unit if it's the one that the community votes for. It'd be pretty disappointing if they were going to add a unit that we voted for and have it be like some really mid-exclusive unit that falls out of the meta. That'd be kind of annoying. That'd be a little sad. So, for argument's sake, let's assume that the unit that they add is going to be a Vanguard. They put a lot of effort into those units. And I know that they put a lot of effort into any variation of Dio Over Heaven that they have to add. But, you know, you can only reinvent the wheel so many times before you want something new. I really would like something that we've never seen before. And I don't think that's too much to ask for. Now, at the time that I'm recording this video, I do believe that Dio Over Heaven is still winning the vote by a pretty large margin. I could be wrong, I hope I'm wrong, but I don't think I am. And if he were to get added into Anime Vanguards, I'm not going to have a frown on my face. I'm still going to grind for him, I'm still going to get him. But I'll always be a little bit sad deep down because I think of what could have been. So let's look at some of the other options and really look at what we could be getting instead of a unit that we've already seen before. Rukia is a pretty cool pick. No pun intended, but she's definitely not my favorite out of the other characters just because, I don't know, like Rukia in her Bankai form is cool and all, but there are a few characters who I think would be cooler. Yoriichi and Kokushibo, two characters from Demon Slayer. Honestly, why two characters from the same series made it in, I don't know, but they are very cool and very hype characters. If I had to choose between the two, as much as I like Kokushibo and his entire design and his breathing style that he uses to fight, I'm going to have to go with Yoriichi as my preferred pick from Demon Slayer specifically, just because this guy is so badass. I mean, this guy's the strongest character in the verse. No character was ever able to beat him in a fair one-on-one, ever. Like he lived his entire life without being beaten. That's how strong he was. Do you know how crazy that is? He solos his own verse. He literally does. And, you know, I think he'd be pretty cool. But let's keep going. Urumi from Day Alive is not an anime that I've ever seen, but I do recognize her character just because she has a very recognizable character design. And I think she has time powers. I know, like, one of her eyeballs is a clock. I mean, she's in the thumbnail. I thought it'd be cool adding her as, like, a Wojak in the thumbnail. But I don't really know her or the anime that she's from. Still, I would take this over Dio Over Heaven. Okay, you know when I said that I'd take any character over Dio Over Heaven? I take it back. Dio, like just normal Dio from JoJo's, I really hope this guy doesn't win. Like, if I had to choose between Over Heaven Dio and normal Dio, obviously I'm going to choose the cooler version. Why this guy is even up here, I don't know. Like, if there's already Dio Over Heaven, why would you vote for the less cool version, which is just normal Dio? He's still a cool villain, a cool antagonist, don't get me wrong, but if you could get the much cooler, stronger version that has powers of changing reality, would you not just vote for that one, even though it's been done over and over again? It's a pick your poison type thing, but as much as I like Dio, he's not really my star contender as to who I want to win. I wouldn't mind Benimaru winning, honestly. He's another one of those characters that's super duper strong in his verse, and he just aura farms a lot. I like him, he's cool. Let's keep going. I know that Wally West is technically not an anime character. Well, not even technically. He's from comics, not anime, but still, I would absolutely love to see Wally West in anime Vanguards in some capacity. He is just super duper cool. I know you've all seen the TikTok edits of him with his little theme song and that, like, the same two comic panels that get animated and reused over and over and over again. I absolutely love Wally West, and I wouldn't mind if he won. In fact, he's my second favorite out of all of them if I had to choose. And let's move on to number 1. Although I didn't vote, Reinhardt is probably the number 1 character that I'd want to win just from a uniqueness standpoint. What do I mean by that? Well, Reinhardt's powers and his abilities are so plentiful. Like, I'm going to put a picture up on the screen right now. This is a full list of all the divine blessings and protections that he has at his disposal. And if you take a second to read these, some of these are just wacky. Like, he can always cook really good food, or he can, like, never get hurt in car accidents. But if you look at all the protections that he has, like, this dude is literally immortal. He doesn't lose to anything. He basically beats out. Like, if this dude got added into the game, I firmly believe that there's nothing in the game that would be able to stop him. He'd be immune to everything. He wouldn't be able to get stunned by anything. He wouldn't get debuffed by anything. He would literally just be the strongest unit in the game. And I think that'd be pretty cool. But like I said, none of these units are like my all-time favorites, but I would still much rather get any of them over Dio Over Heaven, besides normal Dio. I don't know how I feel about getting normal Dio when his Over Heaven version is literally right in front of me, but that's all of the characters. I forgot to mention Unnamed Marine. He's also in the thumbnail. I know this guy's just a joke submission. I don't think he's actually going to win. If he did win, it'd be pretty funny, but let's be honest, people aren't going to be voting for him. And if they do, he's not going to win the popularity vote. I highly doubt it. But back to the thesis of this video, the entire topic to begin with. Why I think Dio Over Heaven should ideally not win, but if he does win, it's not the end of the world. Like I said, it's just something that we've seen before. And I know some people are going to rebuttal that by saying, oh, but Dio Over Heaven has always been kind of lacking in these games. They've never given him justice. If Anime Vanguards does it, we might see a variation of Dio Over Heaven in all his glory, the best version of himself that he could possibly be with the coolest VFX and this and that. And to that I agree, but it kind of ties back to what I said beforehand, where Anime Vanguards really likes to go all out for their Vanguard units, assuming this is a Vanguard unit. Even if it's not, I know that they're gonna want to work hard to please the community, because it'd be lame if they let them vote for a unit that's just buns and doesn't look cool. So you get what I'm trying to say. I think no matter what unit they go with, it's gonna look good regardless. It doesn't have to be limited to just Dio Over Heaven. And if I'm being honest, I would much rather see something new that I've never seen before, something unique, something special, instead of seeing the same variation of Dio Over Heaven for the 5th time. But that's just my personal opinion. Be it as it may, we're going to see how the vote comes along at the end of everything. And that is going to be the end of today's video. Now, on one of the little thumbnails that I posted inside of my post section, I was going to do a video about the entire history of enemy tower defense games. I got kind of lazy and I did not even start editing it. I recorded it. I recorded the script. I recorded the entirety of the script and then I just kind of got lazy and gave up on it. Didn't even start editing. Will that video ever be released to the public? Most likely, but not right now. I kind of want to start a series of shorts on the channel. I think that'd be fun. So yeah, I might try my hand at YouTube shorts, but for now, that's it from me. What's gonna happen within Anime Vanguards? Who knows? But you know, we'll see. We'll see if anything notable happens or anything interesting happens. I'll be sure to make a video. But for now, that's gonna be it for me. Have a great day or night wherever you are. Stay tuned for more content, and we will catch you in the next one.